trading one system, one ticker, S&P 500 futures every single day for a full year. And we're going to journal the process, analyze the market to see what's going on. And I'll show you how I made my money today and how it happened. So today is day 81. I made $287.49 today. The levels we're going to be watching for on Monday is going to be 68.55. If we can stay above that, we're pretty bullish. If we get under that, we're in danger. And then if we get between this zone, we're in no man's zone. So Monday, expecting this level to be kind of holding. If we lose that, we have this level here. This is somewhat of our danger zone. And then if we lose this level, expect rejection to this level and go down further. All right, let's go over market analysis as well. So this is the P&L for today, 287.49. Only had one losing trade. Well, actually two losing trades and a break-even trade there. Majority of the trade was positive and profitable. So a pretty good day. My execution is still not perfect yet. If the execution was perfect, I would have 0 losing trades, honestly. We'll go over that as well. I'll show you some market analysis, where we think market is going so far. So let me delete this. So lately, market's been on this uptrend, right? So you can see like from here, market's been bouncing off this area here, 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 here. So essentially, the last 5 days, if you had just bought every single dip that hit over here, which is actually like the 5-minute MOB somewhat. The major yellow lines are 5-minute MOB, but this trend line is a different line. So if you essentially just bought every dip at the trend line, you'd be up. So therefore, at this point, as long as we're above this trend line, I would say we're bullish. I expect this trend line to be a line of support. So we'll use that going over into Mondays. So far, we're on this uptrend, so there's no reason to be bearish yet. The only time we can be bearish is if it can break this line and then use this line of resistance and go down further. That is the only time we can be bearish. Otherwise, we must remain bullish. We can say like, oh, hey, the stock price is too high. It must go down. That's possible, but it doesn't mean it must go down. Like, look at all these other times where the stock price was too high and just kept climbing higher, right? What we could do is we could buy at the support, expecting it to bounce. And if it doesn't bounce, that's okay. We play accordingly. Now, the other thing that I will warn here is that we already tested this support area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So the 8th time it's gonna hit, it could be weaker. This is the opposite of human psychology. If you guys need to learn something in trading, need to remember something, this is key. A lot of times, market maker will condition you to think a certain way. They want you to be a well-behaved monkey, right? What does it mean to be a well-behaved monkey? Is somebody that respects habits, patterns, and whatnot, and they're training you to read this pattern that it will keep bouncing there, so that when it hits that pattern the 8th time, a lot of human beings love to do this one mistake, and that is oversize because they've seen it hit so many times at all these times that the 8th time it hit, they can be like, dang, it's so consistent. I'm gonna put all my money in it. And that's the exact time it's gonna fail, probably. I don't know if the 8th time will be the failing time, but I'm just saying that the more times it hit a support resistance level, the weaker it gets. And an analogy to kind of understand this is treat these levels like a wall, right? Whether it's a brick wall or whether it's a cardboard wall. The more time you keep hitting that cardboard with a hammer or a nail, no matter how light or how hard you hit it, the more time you hit it, the more likely it's gonna break, the more damage you're gonna do eventually. So I hope that that's a good that helps you guys with the understanding of it a little bit. All right, so let's go over the signals on how I made my money today and why I thought I should have 100% day, and I still feel like I'm not executing perfectly. And here's why. So 9:30, market open. We had a buy signal on NQ, which we would take it the same as ES because NQ and ES are pretty much similar. They all have the same stocks and everything like that. So we had a buy signal at 9:30. pushed the market up a little bit, and then 936 we had a market structure flip bullish, which is somewhere up here, right? Which means we need to buy the dip. So we should have bought the dip over here, 68.78. It went as low as 68.74, which is only a 4-point move down from our entry. So that's not a big point, right? So then from here, we should have bought the dip, went long, and taken some profit somewhere around here to here, this range, right? So that should have been trade number one. Trade number two would have been 1041, where it was somewhat toppy. So that is somewhere around here, which means we're going to see a little drop. We're going to buy at some supports over here since we're still in bullish market structure, and it'll push back up here. And then we probably want to be more hesitant and look for, you know, another opportunity to go long. So maybe over here. Now this did bounce a little bit, but I was greedy. I was looking for more, and that was where I lost my money. But it did also somewhat warn us that it was going to be overbought and topping those possibility for a drop too, because the selling volume was so heavy here, so heavy there. I should have seen the drop coming, but I didn't. So I lost some money from this entry here to here. And then from here, this is 11:30 where structure started flipping bearish. But I also caught one trade here off the MOB since we were still in bullish market structure. So I caught a trade off MOB, closed it here. And then by 11:30 here, we flipped bearish, which means you want to start shorting the MOB. So now we went down, we went back up. You want to short the MOB for it over here. So that would have been another profitable trade. So that would have been another good money making trade. And then 11:54, we got an oversold signal, which is over here, which told us it was going to bounce. So once it bounced, we shorted, came back down. And then we're still consistently in bearish market structure. So you're just going to short it every time it move back to the MOB or the resistance here. And then you can take profit under the MOB, which will be here, right? I'm not sure about full 5 point here, but you could have gotten some decent points. And then I think eventually 134, we flip bullish again. So somewhere around here, we flip bullish again. So that means now you want to buy the dip at the moving average here. So came back down, bought here, moved back up 5 points, we made our money. And at this point, we already had way more than 5 trades per the day. So we should be retiring our account and just kind of walking away, because the more time you trade the market, the more likely you are to lose. So that's pretty much it for market analysis, what I did, how I made my money today, where I thought I could have executed better, but I didn't. Um, I think I should have had a 90% win rate instead of a 80% win rate. So that's where I thought the execution was lacking. Because every trade worked out in a way, in a sense, except for this one over here. I guess in hindsight, I could have avoided the second trade, but I didn't. Going into next week, I will probably not trade Monday or Tuesday. I'll have to see, because I'm traveling next week, so I'll probably be in the air Monday night. So I may be able to get 1 or 2 trade in, but I probably won't be able to journal it. So, and then Tuesday will be iffy. It might be jag lag a little bit, but I don't know. But I will continue trading throughout my journey. I will try my best to trade throughout the whole trip, because trading for me is like a job, and this is my secondary job, and I take it very, very seriously. So this is a way longer explanation video than I thought it would be. I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys have a great weekend as well, and continue learning and growing together, man. Let's go. Have a good day and take care.